Gym. We have had two gym teachers. We had Mr. Fredrickson and Mr. T. Mr. Fredrickson taught us great games. We loved haystack. We had an exercise leader, and on good days we only had to run one lap. On bad days we had to run 4 laps. With Mr. T we ran lots of laps. We were missing that bad day with Mr. Fredrickson. We get to have gym outside sometimes when it is nice out. We like that. We are not too crazy over the days when we can't use a gym and have to watch a health video in the basement. Not our best memory. We played kickball and a safe version of football. On our birthdays, we had to run the number of laps as our age. We had to do the pacer test and we just got our results. Sometimes someone will bring Mr. T a Diet Coke. Thank you for teaching us. Lunch lady. Renee is our main lunch lady. As 6th graders, we had to work and get paid for serving the lunch. She is great. She would let the servers have extra fruit and vegetables. She spoiled us. Sometimes we would play name that state or animal while waiting for classes to come. She would sometimes let us sample a new food. She encouraged us to try things. Sometimes we have substitutes, but Renee is our awesome main lunch lady. We will get to see her next year over at the high school. Thank you, Renee, for supervising us. Kindergarten. Mrs. Jungers was our kindergarten teacher. We had lots of art projects and had 6th grade buddies to help us out. We got rosaries from our buddies and we had a special buddy mass in reception. We did centers, had coins, and got to go to the treasure box. We had to count to 100 to our buddies. We made a snowman art project and used all kinds of things to decorate the snowman. Buttons, ribbons, popsicle sticks, whatever we could find. Each was very unique. We made a Bible book and went to the zoo in Watertown for our field trip. We had fun books to read and had to memorize our address and phone number. We also had to learn to tie our shoes. We had a Hawaiian party and a Last Supper. We did an ABC thing where you would bring things that started with whatever letter you were on. You would also have to look to find the hidden letter somewhere in the room. We had a weather bag that would be just for the weather. We had a calendar too. Thank you, Mrs. Jungers, for teaching us.
First grade. Mrs. Wiseman taught us in first grade. We remember building an igloo that was very big. We went to Bonanza Park for our field trip. We found out how many seconds there were in a year. That was amazing. This was the year that Amy joined our class. We had a baby pool and we used it to see what could sink and what could float. We remember a classmate that fell into the pool and did not float. We made a bench for the gala. We made famous snakes that scared Mrs. Munson this year. We had 5th grade friends. We made ice cream in a bucket. When John ate all his lunch, we all got a treat. If Mrs. Risingflew was reading a book and was not going to get it finished, she would do a picture walk of the rest of the book. We were amazed how she could read the book upside down. We planted flowers for the maid crown, counted money, and got stickers. We never wanted to have something taken away. That was a bad thing. Thank you, Mrs. Risingflew, for teaching us.
Second grade. Mrs. Hagan taught us in 2nd grade. This was a very important year for us. It was during this year that we finally were able to have our first reconciliation and communion. We have waited our whole lives for this. We had a reception after first reconciliation. We had Kit the cat that went home with people. We had a marble jar that if we had good days, marbles would be put into the jar when it was full. We got a party. Natasha Hartman was our cadet teacher. We learned cursive this year. We had an I Hate Winter party. That was fun. We had several royal leaders that included my grandma Dusty, Father Ken, and my dad Kevin Canton. For Halloween, Mrs. Hagan dressed as a clown. We had show and tell and made a Beanie Babies-like thing that we painted grass and then it looked like a glue hair. We had the Last Supper party, which was so neat. We did the I Have a Dream writing project. We went to the zoo and the Redmond Art art center for our field trip. Thank you, Mrs. Hagan, for teaching us. Third grade. Mrs. Beasy was our teacher in third grade. We learned to multiply this year. We had cursive books, which we didn't have at all. We learned about countries. We had a center that had all computers. You would get a ticket if you did something good. It was a bad year for headlights. We remembered no sleepovers for a long time. We couldn't have the big chair pockets anymore. It was a tough year. We went to eat ice cream and toured the historical buildings in town. We went to Fort Sisseton and the tower for a trip. We had a star person, and you would bring pictures and things for the bulletin board. It would include all your favorite things. We had folders, and they had all kinds of information in them. We had a library that would open and close. We had a dare drop everything and read. Some students brought a deer heart for us to look at. It smelled terrible. And we had another memory that Mrs. Rush won't let us share. Thank you, Mrs. Casey, for teaching us. Fourth grade, Mrs. Anderson. Our teacher in fourth grade, if we had a coupon, we could sit in the old-fashioned baskets. One day we had to call fifth grade to get the shovel. I hit my head on the corner of the doorway and had to get stitches. This was not a good thing. You could use coupons to skip an assignment. Some of us used it to skip a really hard math assignment. We were Mrs. Anderson's last fourth grade class because she went to kindergarten the next year. We played Wheel of Fortune, went to the basement to see the royal and gold other things. Mrs. Anderson read us all the little house books. She would pick out a Bible verse and tell us to find it and highlight it. For Catholic schools, the Just Dance station was in our room. She got a new dog us. We learned about South Dakota. We did the wax museum of our favorite thing in South Dakota. She went to Mexico this year, and Darby was her substitute. We all got souvenirs from her trip. We learned about the saints and we wanted to learn about for All Saints Day. We didn't get other teachers this year, like the other classes got. We are so bummed about that. Thank you for teaching us, Mrs. Anderson.
Fifth grade, Mrs. Trapp. Mrs. Trapp taught us in fifth grade. One of the first things she did was bring out a shovel and told us that if any of us died, she would be prepared to bury us. She brought this up off and on all year, if we remember correctly. No one died, so the shovel was not needed. We had a surprise party for her birthday. We had first grade buddies and wrote a lot of sentences. We figured she was trying to make us good graders. When we went to the Washington Pavilion for a field trip, we heard a voice from the closet. Many of us thought we heard our own voice. It was very strange. We had to write in cursive, not always our favorite. We read novels and then had activities that went along with it. We did clay projects after reading Island of the Blue Dolphins inside of the room. We had math videos, and one time it was really mixed up with the wrong voice with our video. It was so strange to watch. This is the first year we could join the band. Mrs. Carls was our band director. We had a good year. Thank you for teaching us, Mrs. Trapp. We hope you love performing.
Sixth grade, Mrs. Rausch taught us in sixth grade, and she has a couple of sayings she says all the time, other than be quiet. She likes to say, don't make it harder than it is, and she has a strong feeling about people treating each other in a mean way. In the fall, we went to St. Francis' house, Arnold McDonald House, where her brother gave us a tour, and the cathedral where we met her parents. We had a nice trip and took lots of fun interesting places from the whole parish. We learned about homeless people and also how people have a place to stay when their kids are sick. We loved the playroom at the Ronald McDonald House. The cathedral was beautiful also. We learned to make rosaries and made one for ourselves, for our buddy, and one for our parents. We sat with our buddies at Mass and helped them with their projects all year. We had band at the high school this year. We also went to the Festival of Bands in Croton. That was fun. Mrs. Ross sometimes turned on the invisible button that meant no questions she just were. They were the stars of both programs this year. But they got to serve at lunch and had a yard. In the spring, we went to Falls Park and Butterfly House. It was a bit chilly, but a fun trip. We dyed our Rose Race page to remember Mrs. A's Fight Club, and since this year's miscellaneous had a cancer treatment. We wore our shirts on our field trip. Mrs. Roush says we drive her nuts sometimes, but we know we are her favorite. We went to her place and had for lunch and went to hang out for a while. We know she will miss us. Thank you, Mrs. Roush, for teaching us. So here are our memories. We have made many, but it is time to make one a different place.